Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Say that with me. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And the preparation we are doing here is going to lead you into much better performance. As we begin exploring the actual breathing process, let's put your upright posture aside for a minute and have you lie down on the floor on your back. You can have your legs flat or have your knees up with your feet flat on the floor.
Now allow your hands to rest on your abdomen, right at your belly button. As you relax, you will feel your hands gently lifting as you inhale and going back down as you exhale.
Continue to relax and breathe, feeling the hands rise and fall. The chest and ribs will be still. The belly is where you will feel the action.
This is a good time to mention that you shouldn't hold your tummy in. You need to allow it to expand on the inhale and contract as needed on the exhale. And don't think this will give you a big stomach. In fact, as you establish good posture and stronger breathing muscles, your tummy will flatten, not look bigger. So let it do what it was designed to do. Remember this as we move into the next exercise.
Still on your back on the floor, put your hands on your rib cage. Continue breathing while allowing the ribs to stay pressing out against your hands. You will find that the ribs can remain quite still during both the inhalation and exhalation as long as you allow the abdomen to rise and fall. In other words, why waste energy moving the ribs up and down if they are quite content staying still and allowing muscles to do the work?
For the last floor exercise, with hands still on your ribs, sip in 4 breaths as if breathing through a straw. Then blow out 4 breaths on a hissing sound.
Let's try and keep the ribs uninvolved in this whole process and let the muscles do it. If you were able to keep the ribs still for that exercise, move on to the next exercise. If not, go back and try it again. Now, slowly stand up.
Let's check that posture by standing back up against a wall. Check to see that you are not overly arching the lower back and that you feel the head is back over the shoulders. Now, lift up onto your toes.
Still up on your toes, start walking away from the wall and feel your posture muscles in the abdomen and back keeping you upright. Come down off your toes now, keeping that very tall, stretched up feeling and always with a long back of the neck. Do you remember the strings we talked about earlier, attached to the top back of your head and the collarbone? Pull on those strings now and feel like you are again being lifted up on your toes from the top back of your head and the collarbone. Go up and down several times, letting your posture muscles do what they were designed to do. You will feel them adjusting to keep you upright. If they didn't, and you were out of balance, you would fall over. We see this process clearly as babies begin to walk. Their heads are often disproportionately large, making anything other than perfect posture result in an abrupt return to the crawling position, the very position they are trying to graduate from.
As we do this breathing exercise, focus on 2 things. First, a long back of the neck, and second, a tailbone that is tucked underneath you, not sticking out with an overly arched back. Begin with your hands on your rib cage. Encourage the ribs to lightly press out against your hands throughout the exercise.
Now, let's sip in 4 times, then hiss out 4 times with no movement in the ribs,
but lots of activity in the abdomen. It will expand for the inhale and contract as needed for the exhale.
Here we go. Let's stop for a minute and ask a few questions and review. Feel free to stretch out as we discussed earlier, or just relax in a chair or on the floor.
First, what did we say prevents poor performance?
The answer is proper preparation.
Second, should the abdomen expand or contract when you inhale?
It should expand, making way for the dropping of the diaphragm. You experienced how natural this was when you were lying on the floor.
Finally, where do we see wonderful examples of breathing?
In babies, toddlers, and even animals. Now let's start making some simple vocalized sounds while paying great attention to our posture and breathing.
Remember, practice makes permanent, so be practicing an upright posture with still chest and ribs. In this exercise, we'll use the word he. Feel the abdomen area expand for the inhale and contract for the exhale.
Say this with me. He, he. Together. He, he. Again. He, he. This time, lift your hands straight up in the air as we do a 9 count. He. With me. He. Once more. He. Now, with your hands back behind your neck. Together. He. And again. He. Finally, with the arms stretched out to your sides, parallel with the floor, making you look like the letter T. Together. And again.
Now relax the arms and bending at the waist, let the body gently fall forward. Keep the knees bent and round and stretch out the back. Hang there for 12 seconds.
That should feel good to your back. Well, since you're starting to understand the posture and breathing, let's make it a little more fun and do an exercise with this accompaniment. Listen to me and then join in. I'll do it first, then you echo it. He. He. Ha. 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 Ho. Ho.
Ho, ho, ho.